Oh, this was actually a pretty good play, though. That's kill Fernando, and I killed Zinzao. And then we would pop over there, popping Reaper's ult, while he's popping his ult, right? Okay, I'll admit, that deserved to play the game. Okay. Yo, what is up, guys? So here is the new hero in the Paladins, Koga, and I've been messing around with him for a little bit, and I want to show you guys two different builds that I think are quite viable. And there's a few different viable ones, but personally, I think that the Claw build is much more fun, which is the build that you guys are seeing. So basically, I'm going to sum up Koga here, and then I'll let two different gameplay styles play out. So the first one is much more entertaining. It's basically a dash build. So what I'm able to do is basically burst a lot of targets. And you'll see that he actually has no cooldowns. Instead, Koga has these 3 little bars. And every time you use a skill, it uses up a bar. Now you do have claw form and you have like a gun form. So when you have different skills on, one of them is like an agility, which lets you get extra movement speed. It can actually do a lot of different things depending on the cards, which I'll show you later in the video of like what they can kind of do. But basically you have like kind of a different skill bar. One of them, like for example, in the gun form, I'm able to kind of get a little dash. It only dashes you forward. But in the claw form, I'm able to actually dash and do quite a bit of damage. It actually hits for 1,000 points of damage. That's the gold card that I'm using. As long as I'm expending an additional 1 bar when I dash in. And when you dash in, it uses up all of your bars. There is, however, a card where it lets you gain some energy back. You can get up to 50% energy back. However, with that build, it causes a little bit of problems because if you don't get that kill from the dash, you're not going to be able to get the additional healing. You're not going to be able to get the resets, and like there's a lot of things that you can get with it. But sometimes it's not always your fault. Like, yeah, you can argue if you miss, you're just bad, and therefore you should be getting punished for dashing in. However, if someone else uses a displacement, they get shielded, there's a heal, there's something that blocks your path, there's a lot of things that can get in the way of that. But you see, I'm going all in, but I have no way of getting back to my team. Now, like I said, there is a card where you can gain additional energy. However, there's a brief moment where you can't do anything. After dashing in, there's a small moment where you can't use any of your abilities because you have no energy. Even if you were able to gain some energy back, there's a small window. Now, there is another card that lets you basically use your abilities a little bit faster. It's like swapping from claws to your guns is 50% faster. However, at that point, you're not going to be able to get the additional energy and then also the healing. Like, there's a lot of, like, I guess what I want to say is cards that I would like to run, but there's just not enough to make it much more viable. But, I mean, the dash is pretty good, and I do like his ultimate. He's a pretty fun hero to play. He also has a wall climb when you use the agility. The next gameplay that you guys are going to be seeing, and I'll let it play out through its entirety, is actually going to be just like an auto build where I really don't use the wall climb at all because, well, if I'm wall climbing, I'm not going to be able to just keep on throwing DPS down the line, which is the other build. The other build's more boring, but I think it's more viable and much more consistent and easier to play. But anyways, guys, enjoy the auto attack gameplay. Alright, so, new hero, Koga, will run in the... There's a lot of different builds with Koga, to be honest. I actually feel like you can actually run submachine guns restore energy, or you can do successful hits with submachine guns cost no ammo. I'm going to run this one. We're going to be running the broken build, which basically just auto shoots the entire time. So, to explain Koga real quick in 30 seconds, we're going to go ahead and get life rip real quick. When I fire, I actually gain 50% additional healing, which procs off of pretty much everything. I also have this ability, Agility, which heals me for 100 HP per second, and it lasts 4 seconds. Gives me extra agility, which is movement speed. Gives me extra regeneration of my ammo. And then also, in addition to that, every time I'm hitting an enemy, I don't actually use ammo. There's a few different abilities that I'll show off in a second, but this build is not very spicy. It's more just actually sustain, sitting in the lines forever. And I mean, like, actually forever. I don't know what that guy's doing, but... he's dead. I'm just gonna dash so I can kill this guy. Normally I don't ever dash with this guy though. Okay. So we basically just keep agility up the entire game. And I actually mean the entire game. The only thing we might actually die to is like a sniper. Or if we get unlucky. Get hooked, right? But yeah, basically we're just... like I said, the only thing that's really going to kill us is a snipe. Dang. But should be able to take, as long as Meeve's getting this good flank right now on, yeah. Which is pretty easy for her to get a flank on. Because I think that Kinessa's a much better sniper because she can actually escape. Strix beats her in like 1v1s, but... basically, we don't even need to reload. Unless, like, there's no one to shoot. And that's an easy clap.
That was easy.
Oh, he's getting healed. We out. But, wait, are we capping? Damn, I didn't get enough headshots. But anyways, he has claws that you can actually use. I mean, I can show you that. But I'm gonna move back. It's gonna move. I moved back so I didn't get hit. But like I said, he's the only one that's gonna actually kill me. Actually, we can get. Actually, I don't know if we need life rip anymore. They only have one person with cauterize, but I'm not gonna be focusing that guy anyways. I don't think he's gonna be focusing me. Damn. So it took a lot of damage right there. So much burst with Koga. It's more so that, like, it's consistent damage. You can build him, like, bursty, but I did not. This is not the claw dash build. You can build a claw dash build, which almost insta-gives most like, 2k or under. But it's, I don't know. I think this is much more consistent as far as, like, viability. But yeah, this is the build that I personally think is really broken right now. They're bad. It's because I care. No, it's a little bit hard. Okay, so anyways, so you can throw like these like claws. You can dash, and it does damage. It can do up to 1,000 points of damage, which is huge. But it has like a small wind-up time. So if you're doing that, and if you're landing your full combo on players, they're more likely to bad. And at that point, I think this build would be overall much better. We do have our ultimate, so I'll use my ultimate next time. I'm just gonna focus on dealing as much damage and shredding tanks. I mean, you could look at him as kind of a flanker, but I honestly feel like he's really good at just pumping out a lot of damage. Waiting for him to do that. I was about to die, so that's why I'm popping this, by the way. Gonna pop agility again. Oh, I would challenge Makoa. Get your ass over here, Makoa. I'll melt you. Looks like Makoa is 1v10ing everybody. Hi. Gotta activate agility again pretty soon. As long as I'm not missing, doesn't even cost any ammo. See, this is why I like him. So now I'm actually kind of warmed up, alright? Just had to warm up the hit scan. Just gonna not waste my energy. So he doesn't actually have cooldowns. He actually just... I'm gonna go actually over here. I'm gonna wait for the guy to set up over here. Oh, or not. Pick me up. Pick me up, Kappa. I was waiting. All I needed was 1% more. 1% more, and then we would have wiped the entire team. Easy, 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 easy. I'm gonna get this. Take less damage, and I'll show you guys the build after. But this is one build of the character, and I think that this is the most broken build. As much as I want to ult, I just want to kill him. Only because I don't like him. Because he keeps on like cucking me every single time. Like, look at this. This is not broken. Like, even if you guys like follow me for Overwatch, like, The fact that you, as long as you're landing your shots, you don't need to reload, insane, dude. Like a shredding tank. Oh gosh. I don't even know where we're at right now. Oh, it's cool, we didn't die. His ultimate makes you blind, so. And I'm also regenerating ammo while all this is happening. Like, oh.
Victory.
Alright, let's check how much damage we did. I don't think we had any insane plays. In fact, I actually have a really good ultimate. It was a double kill into an ult that killed 2 more, but it's not in this gameplay. But dude, the shredding of the tanks, I love it. It's basically just holding mouse 1 though. But like that's why I think it's broken. It requires very little mechanical skill. Good thing my enemies don't know how to CC. Actually, this character has a build where what, you have reached battle pass? Okay. So let's go and go to scoreboard. We did the most damage, but it wasn't by like 70k. Oh gosh, their Genos could have done way more damage. Even though he is a healer. But their Strix wasn't that bad. I mean, he did okay. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the build. I think is pretty broken. So, wall firing. I know my camera's covering the picture, but it doesn't really matter. So wall firing, I increase healing received by 50%. And then I gain 100 HP per second while agility is activated. Agility is the thing that pretty much is the only ability I use. I gain 12 ammo per second while agility is activated, and I increase the speed boost of agility, and then I just get 50 HP. These are just like basically flat like buffs that really don't matter too much to me. But going over his cards, like the golden ones, so there's dealing damage with submachine gun restores energy. It's so small, and since I only really use one ability, I don't think it's enough. Blood Reaper is the burst build where you have the claws, and you can get up to 400 bonus damage based on the amount of energy consumed up to 1 unit. So basically what you do is you swap to the claws, you auto first, you swap to the claws, and then you hit him for 600, you dash, you hit him for 1,000. So basically it's a 1,600, like real simple, but then you have to have either initial damage or follow-up damage. I'm gonna actually, you know what, let's go to the training grounds. I'm just gonna do this just so I can show you guys the other way to kind of play the character, because it is a little bit boring to play him the way I did, but I think it's legitimately the best build, at least for my playstyle. So we're gonna go to the shooting range and check it out. Oh, so to answer someone's question over there, Nano in the chat, a lot of characters have CC reduction card. Yeah, so their team, they did have Makoa, which obviously that's during the polling, they're basically unable to do anything, right? However, I'm just gonna go to the one I really like, which is this successful hits cost no ammo. But so here's like the burst build. Actually I need to do this. What is it? Edit the loadout. So this is Blood Reaper. This is the burst build. I can make some stuff, make it better for it, but I actually just overwrote the other card because I was lazy. Anyways, so this is like the other way to actually kill someone. So you can auto them, you swap to this, you shoot once, you right click, and they're dead. One problem that I have with this build is it uses up all your energy, and after you do that, like, what are you going to follow up with, right? you can't really sustain unless you have like kill the heal. But there's also a problem where I had where, like, let's say I don't like finish them off. Let's say like I auto them, whatever, they heal up, they're basically at full. I swap to this, I do this, and I do this. There's a brief moment where the guns have to spin before you can do anything, which is my biggest concern with swapping. Like, watch, if I go to this, I'm holding down the mouse the entire time. They have to spin. The only thing that can break it is if you go straight out of a dash, but you can't do the, I'm just gonna call it like Reaper Fade or whatever. You can't do that immediately because it expends all your energy when you do the dash. This uses up all your energy, and depending on how many it uses up, it gives you bonus damage up to 400, and it only considers it 1 unit. So basically, you're gonna be, well, okay, as soon as you swap to your claw form, and the claws actually hit for quite a bit, but I've actually made a claw build. It was actually terrible. You don't even want to watch. So there's a build where it makes it so Dragon Stance no longer consumes energy and instead consumes 100 health per second. Now, with my build currently, I heal for 100 health per second, right? So basically you'd think, oh, that's pretty good, because you're basically mitigating 100 HP via the card, because the card actually makes it so you lose 200 health per second. But if you have, I guess, like life rip, or if someone's healing you, yeah, that can help out, I guess, a little bit. But the problem that I have with it is it's not very consistent with its damage against moving targets. I'll show you guys the hitbox. So obviously that's going to land, but it's pretty generous for its hitbox. Now, since we're in the training ground, it's just going to heal us up anyways. But yeah, while I'm activating this, it probably won't like ever drop. But in a real game scenario, it's not that great, because I feel like the range on it isn't that great. I would rather sit back and just do this, right? And especially when you have... Okay, I want to show you guys something insane. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the... you can run submachine guns to restore energy, and there's another build where you can just blink around, but I think the other build is just so much more consistent. So I'm just going to run this because, well, I mean, it's good for damage anyways. So one thing that I think is dirty, so we'll have all these characters right here, right? And I'm just going to go ahead and just activate this, and you'll see that we'll never have to reload.
Double kill. Triple kill. Rampage.
For the most part.
Quadra kill. Penta kill. That's 7 in a row. Hexa kill.
You can even see, at some points we'll start regenerating ammo, and that's because of the ability to, and to also do the ultimate.
Hexa kill.
Right?
Kill. Godlike.
So,
Hexa kill.
yeah. I think he's pretty cool, but I just think that the way that he's most effective
Hexa kill.
is...
Hexa kill.
Gosh.
Hexa kill. Hexa kill.
Okay, anyways, the most effective way to play him, I think, is actually like at range and doing like the build where you just shred the tanks and you just never have to reload. And there are times where I did dash, but the reason why I do that is just obviously reposition. But I like the build to blink, but the blink heals you for 100 less, and on top of, actually heals for a lot less than that. But like on initial, you can get, I'm gonna go back to the cards screen right now. Oops. I guess I have to select one. So we're gonna go back to the lobby. So there is a card where it lets you heal for 300 on every blink. Up to 300, obviously, with the maximum amount. Where is it? Shadow Step heals you for up to 300, which is actually really good. And then you can run the thing where it's like you gain energy when you're shooting with the guns, but it's not enough. I would rather sit further back rather than dashing in, because it's just like sometimes you get unlucky when you get too close to people, especially with that, like the Shaolin. He'll wreck you too fast. But for the most part, I just think he's really good for just shredding tanks because you don't have to reload. You can even get other things that, like, what is it, Shield Breaker or whatever it's called in this game. But anyways, oh, I guess I can't. I'll just discard. But yeah, that's the new character, I guess, for purposes. There's the taunts and poses. But anyways, that's new character Koga. I just want to get some gameplay out there to share with you guys if you're watching this on YouTube. You guys can let me know what you thought of him and what build you guys actually like with him. I might get gameplay of like the claw build, but I played it one time and I really hated it, to be honest. It's just not as great, but that's just my opinion. You guys can let me know yours down below in the comment section below. But hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed the vid and you're watching this on YouTube, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I upload Paladins once in a while. Basically, when there's a new hero, I want to try it out. And it also is like refreshing from Overwatch because I like the customization. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'm out.